Welcome back to the podcast, guys. I am delighted. Today we've got, I would say, Premier League legend. Most of your appearances in the Premier League, Dan Gosling. Dan, how you doing, mate?
I'm good. Thank you for having me on.
Mate, buzzing to have you here. I always start with all my guests like at the start of the journey because everyone has a different entrance into football. Some Sunday League, some not. How did you start? What was your start in football?
It was my mum, actually. Always loved football as a kid, 6, 7, kicking the ball around. But it was primary school where I was maybe year 3, and the school that I was in didn't have a football team at that age. And we had quite a few mates and young people wanted to play football, and the school wouldn't do it. So my mum, she was quite a feisty character, actually. She would actually go into the school and be like, this is not on, really. And then she kind of drummed up interest like that. And then one of the school dads said, I'll make a team. And it was my mate's dad who was the coach, started a team. And that was the foundation of Brixham United, where that was my Sunday League team. So that's where it started, year 3. So what was that? Was that when I was 7, maybe? 6,
Wow.
7? Not sure. And then it went on from there. And listen, as we got older, we got better. But at the start, it was just a kick about. And then under, I don't know, 9s, 10s, we were probably getting battered. I remember we were getting battered 10-0, 12-1, just stupid results. But then one season, I don't know when it was, but it just started turning. And we were the team winning 10-0, 11-0. And then it went on Sunday League, getting sponsored, had a kit, entered tournaments. And then, from there, it was when I got spotted from a scout at Plymouth. Under 11s, I got scouted at Plymouth, and then started still playing Sunday League, but obviously joining Plymouth at the same time.
Yeah.
So
And
a bit of a mad start.
what was it like at Plymouth?
Daunting, actually. When I went for the trial, I was looking. There was quite a number of players, and I was looking in. Obviously, they've been there a while, all in the kit. I turn up in just a football kit, and they're all in the green and white shorts, jumper, and I'm feel quite intimidated looking at them like warming up, and they all just look good. And it took the trial 6-week period. I was there for 4 weeks, and they offered me a contract. So even at that point, I was still pretty nervous, still new to it. But obviously signed the contract young, quite naive. Probably was no problem. I'll join us, and then ended up going down there twice a week, up until the age of 16. So from 11 till 16, Tuesday, Thursdays, then a game on a Sunday. But I was still playing Sunday League. Still wanted to play with my mates. I loved that, and I didn't want to let that go. So still playing up to under 14s. It was a decision, Plymouth, either Sunday League or Plymouth. And I still wanted to, I was still so attached with my Brixham United, my mates, training there. So they actually moved all the kickoff times to the afternoon, which is bad, really. I mean, they shouldn't have done that. And I wasn't allowed to play for both, but I ended up playing for Plymouth in the morning. And then I'd drive back and play for Brixham in the afternoon. So I'd done that for about a season, and then it got to a point where it was getting a little bit more serious. And then I just obviously stopped Sunday League and went all in then.
And how old were you when you made your debut for Plymouth, your first team debut?
I was 16, so got quite lucky, really. I mean, pre-season, I left school, joined as a 2-year scholarship, and me and my mate, first few days, I think the first team needed 2 players to go on pre-season tour. Must have trained with the first team, and then all of a sudden they said, we want you two to come to Austria with the first team. And it was, pretty much within probably the first week, 2 weeks of joining as a scholar. So me and my mate went to Austria with the first team, and then that's how, after that, I was in around the first team the whole time, really.
What's that like? So we've got, at the moment, we've got your Max Dowmans and your Rios at Liverpool, 2 superstars.
Yeah.
Really, really young, come into a first team change room. What was it like for you?
I didn't like it. I think now I can imagine those boys get embraced so well. Listen, they're world-class young kids, right? So that alone, the lads want to look after them.
Mm.
Um, back in the day, back when I was coming through, um, it was different. It was different. The players wouldn't put their arm around you. They'd have conversation and stuff, but they wouldn't. Not. It was more ruthless, I would say, back then. Where it is now, I see young lads now go to the first team and train like it's nothing.
Mm.
Whereas I was going up for the first team, like I didn't want to go and train. I'd rather stay with my mates down here. And yeah, so it was different. It wasn't. I didn't enjoy the experience, to be honest. I mean, listen, it was great, but I wouldn't say, oh, I can't wait to train with the first team boys. But I soon got used to it. I didn't feel. It didn't take me long until I felt I was there. You know.
And you made, was it a couple of seasons you were first team football at Plymouth before
Yeah,
you
yeah,
before you got.
one season really. As I left there at 17 and a bit.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I left there. No, I went to Everton in the January window, I think.
was it?
So it would have been, yeah, I'd have just turned 17, just coming up to 17, I think, or just turning 18, one or the other.
Tell me about
Um,
that period. So, like, you're a really, really young kid playing first team football. I'm sure all the papers are talking, the media's talking about this kid that's playing at the top of the game. Championship's pretty high level at that age. You obviously moved to Everton, but were there other conversations with other clubs? How did that move come?
um, yeah, so I had so many people ringing my mum's phone, like my house
Was it?
phone, and all agents. I was like, how they get that number, I'd never know. And I went into my coach and said, I'm getting all these calls from like agents, don't really know what to do with it really. They said, well, do you want an agent? I said, don't know. Do I need one? I was so just not aware really.
Well,
My mum was clueless about all that as well. And then he said, okay, if you want an agent, I'll speak to someone. And then he spoke with one guy, Dave Hodgson, his name, and then he looked at me in a couple of games, FA Youth Cup game, and obviously liked what he saw. He flew down from Darlington to Plymouth one night. Never met the guy. I was just going to meet him in a hotel with my mum, and he had all this contract with him, and he said basically had a conversation. We signed the contract and walked out, and was like, "Oh, that was my agent." And then kept in touch. He's still speak to him every day now. So it's the best thing that ever happened to me, really. Um, but yeah, how the Everton. So he basically phoned me one day. I knew there was interest. I knew there was rumours, sort of papers. Do you know what I mean? Then he said Everton are interested in taking you. Would you want to go? And it was yes, no problem.
yeah.
Like when? Well, soon. Basically, they're going to bid January, whatever time it was, and it was so quick. All of a sudden, I was on the plane going to Mersyside with my mum from Plymouth. It was
And
like wow.
was it just you that went up there? I mean, could you get any two locations further away from
Yeah,
each other?
nah,
Really,
that's the
like,
thing. I mean, I'm from a small town in Brixham. Then I moved to Plymouth, and Plymouth was a big city for me. And then I was in digs there, and then moving to Merseyside, it was like a whole new world. Like it's really scary, actually. And then the same thing, yeah, turned up at the airport, got picked up, went to the training ground. Obviously, Finch Farm is an amazing training ground. I've like never seen anything like it. Um, and then I walk in and I go upstairs in the canteen and wait so the player liaison officer takes you upstairs. I'm sat in the canteen with my mum, and you've got all the players there just having breakfast. And I just walk in, like, don't get introduced by no one. Walk in, sit down, like, on a different table, and they've got Phil Neville, Tim Cahill, Pienaar, and I'm just like, what the hell is going on here? And then he said, oh, wait, the manager will come in a minute. And then, to be fair, Phil Neville come over. He must have found out that the club's signing me, and he introduced me to all the lads. He went round all the way, so he took me out. And then David Moyes comes in, and then we go in his office and have a chat and sign the contract. And then yeah, I was an Everton player.
That
It
was, I
was
mean, that's a proper step up. The names that
yeah,
were in that dressing room are, I mean, elite. One of them, Premier League winner, Mikel Arteta.
yeah.
Um, Elite players, right? Was there one person? Obviously, you spoke about Phil there, but was there one person that took you under their wing to help you
Um,
embed in?
no, I wouldn't say there was a particular player. I think so. When I went there, I was straight into the reserve dressing room.
Okay.
Um, and then within probably, I don't know, 4 months, 3 months, 4 months, I got moved into the first team dressing room. Um, but by that point, I made my debut, played a couple of games. I felt I was now the first team player.
Yeah.
Um, so it happened really quickly. But I played, listen, I played a lot of reserve games anyway, there still. But I was training with the first team regularly. So once you do that, you start to feel better. But it took me a while to get to the speed of that. I mean, I was nowhere near the level when I went, and they'll be like, extra player, oh, Dan, come over. And I used to jog over and thinking, Jesus Christ, like this, the rondos was
Was
ridiculous.
it?
Even when I was first team player, I didn't never felt comfortable in the rondo. And I
Yeah.
just wish now, like as I got older, I used to love rondo. I used to then take the piss out of other people, like, and I just wish I had that confidence when I was 18 there with them. Um, but you're growing up. I was so young, and those players are world class.
Yeah. But
So it's a
literally,
completely different world.
but it's
Completely different.
understandable, right? Because a few years ago you were playing Sunday League with your mates, and now
Yeah,
you're shaking hands with Phil Neville and training, doing rondos with Mikel Arteta. Like,
yeah, and Yakubu and Pinar and all these technical players, and I was just like, whoa. They're just
yeah,
stud rolling the ball, and I think I was in every time. Every other pass, I was in the middle. It's
yeah.
just like, what is going on?
But
Um,
so you're really young. You're still really young. You're playing for Everton. There's obviously a goal that is probably in the history of Everton fans they love, which is scoring in the Mersyside derby. What was that like?
yeah, that was a mental time actually. I mean, it was the replay, and then I played a few. But I was playing. I was in and around the first team anyway, and then I come on that game. I don't know, on the hour, maybe on the hour. Obviously, 0-0.
Mm.
Come on, right. I was playing right wing. I used to play right wing, left wing, right back. Really, they were the three positions that I was playing there at that time. But mostly on the right wing, and that weren't really my position. But I was play wherever the manager wanted me to. Do you know what I mean? And then yeah, I ended up on the left wing. That's how I scored. I was playing left wing because Van der Meijden come on and he was playing right wing.
Yeah, he was and
So
he crossed it
and
in.
then
Yeah,
obviously the deep cross in. But yeah, that I look back at that goal and I'm looking at it going, right, I've controlled the ball half decent, and then everything else after that just instinct. Like I didn't I didn't mean to do that and shift back. It was just like I don't know. It happened so quick. But on the replay, when you slow it down, it's like I know there was a deflection, and I don't even know how we got the power to go up and over. And you've got three Liverpool players all like going that
shifting
way,
over. Yeah.
and then I just end up going that way. And I'm not that agile anyway. But obviously, as
No.
a kid,
Yeah.
that was when I had two good knees. To be fair, before my knee operation, so I must have been more agile.
It was like
And
slow
then
motion, wasn't it? So like, I
yeah,
think Arbeloa, Carragher,
and
and then I
Dirk
think
Coit.
Skirtle comes across. Yes, Dirk Coit's near to it. And then you shift across, curl it into the corner, gets a
Yeah,
slight deflection, past Rayner.
and then obviously I wheel away to the Liverpool side.
Did you?
Just I was in a complete
Yeah,
different
yeah, yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
space, no idea what I was doing. All of a sudden, mobbed, and then obviously the TVs in that went off, didn't it? All
Oh,
the
really?
signal up and down the country went off, so my mum didn't see the goal. Uh,
No.
the TV then come back on with the celebration, and one by one's getting off me, and then I'm at the bottom. Obviously getting up last, and then scored the winning goal, and then yeah, after that my phone blew up. It was just crazy, crazy night. I didn't do anything. I went back to my car. I couldn't get to my car for ages, and then went home to my apartment that I was in. And then I was just on my phone. I'd like six,
Just
seven
by
hundred
yourself.
messages, just by myself. I didn't go out, nothing. Like it was just. Uh, I don't think I slept. I mean. I've been replying to everyone, obviously on such a high. It's like, yeah, but I weren't really a going out guy anyway. I was probably too nervous to train the next day if I had a drink. But yeah, it was surreal moment, and I think that moment's lived with me for like my whole career really.
I'm sure.
The Everton fans still, like, I left on different circumstances, but a lot of them still, if I see them on holiday, a Scouser or whatever, it's like, well, thanks for that goal. It's like at that time I didn't know anything about it. Do you know what I mean? I didn't know the magnitude of it.
Yeah.
I actually gave my shirt away at the end of the game to Jose Baxter.
Oh,
And then someone said to me, what are you doing? You got to keep the shirt. So I said, Jose, give me my
go
shirt back.
back.
And he went, yeah, go on. And so I had the ball as well, but I've moved house a few times. I've fucking lost the ball.
No.
So I gutted, but I had the ball for years. And then,
Oh, gutted.
yeah, gutted. But I wish I kept the boots, had the boots. But that's one regret that I would say. You know, if you're a young kid now and you're going to have a long career, keep every pair of your boots. That's like the one thing I wish I'd done. I had all the Preds. I had a mate working in Pro Direct in the warehouse when I was a
Nice.
kid, and every Sunday I used to go home and I used to come back with a boot full of boots, just give them all to the first team boys and that. But I used to get all the Preds, everything. I just wish I kept them. But
Was that your one? Was you Preds?
yeah, I was up until I got a Nike deal.
Oh, fair.
and then I was a Magista. And then the Nike Phantoms, which you'd know them if you saw them.
Yeah.
And
What
then
do
I was
those
that.
deals look like, Dan? So is it like they'll gift you boots and you like that's the deal, you have to wear the boots, or
Yeah,
they
as a
give you
kid I was
money
Adidas,
as well?
and
Like,
then I had a deal. I used to be able to go into like Adidas shops and stuff and spend like 10 grand on like
wow.
clothes and stuff.
Yeah.
I used to come out. I was in the Arndale Centre in Manchester. I used to go across there for Adidas. I used to
Yeah.
come out with like bags full of Adidas gear. Just walk to the car. It was like all for free. It was mad.
Wow.
And then, I had a Nike deal, done a similar Nike Town in London. Used to do that.
Yeah.
But then, listen, don't go far, you know. You think like, I started like getting like a couple of like tech tracksuits for like a mate or where it was like
Yeah.
$250 tracksuit. Before you know it, it's like $7 grand. I hadn't even got much stuff here. But you end up wasting it, you know. You end up wasting it a little
sure.
bit. It's like, oh yeah, I just get those trainers because I can. I just get them, and
Yeah.
but it was great. It was fantastic. But it wasn't like a multi-million-pound a year contract. You know what I mean,
No,
but
but a
I'd
nice
take
little.
free gear, free boots.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Lovely. So you obviously at Everton for a while. When you moved to Newcastle after Everton, did you want to stay at Everton? What was the situation? Did you want to stay there, or was it time
Yeah,
for you for a new
the
challenge?
reason. No, I was there for 2.5 years, and the reason I always felt I was a central midfield player. That's where I grew
Yeah.
up, and at Everton, I was playing left wing, right back. And I didn't mind, like, it was great, right? I had Arteta, I had Manuel Fernandez, there was Thomas Gravesen, there was Lee Carsley right at the start. Ridiculous players.
Osman, yeah.
Or Leon Osman, yeah, crazy players. And so I wasn't like getting really impatient, but I wanted to train there. I wanted to learn my position, and I never was. And I spoke with the manager. He didn't see me as a central midfield player. So I'm there looking at it going, well, what the hell am I doing? Like, and then I was injured anyway. I was injured. I'd done my cruise ship there.
Okay.
Obviously, loads different. I was going to sign a new contract, but the contract never came. And then they had to offer me a contract by a certain date because I was on a incentivized contract, but I already passed everything in that deal by playing games and
Okay.
whatever else.
Yeah.
So that contract was like void, null and void, basically. I can't like sign a contract that I've already passed in terms of wages when the every so often games you got money goes up or whatever I was on.
Okay.
I don't know what it was now. And then when I had that conversation with David Moyes, he didn't see me in the position that I was in. There was other players there. I was in a bracket of, I felt, James Vaughan, Victor Nicheby, Jack Rodwell. That bracket, I was one of them, like that quartet of young players breaking through. They was all on more money than me. So my new deal, I wanted to be on similar to those guys.
Yep.
And I felt that was fair. And they never offered me a contract. And then someone's made a mistake and obviously released. Basically, they didn't offer me a contract in a certain time, so all of a sudden I'm a free transfer now.
Got you.
Well, that was our understanding, and I was like, okay, well, if they don't want me and they've put out that they've released me, then we'll leave on a free transfer, no problem.
Yeah, yeah,
I didn't want to leave because I love Liverpool. Um, at the time, I had a girlfriend there. I obviously was playing. I had a great relationship with the fans after scoring the goal. It was like perfect.
yeah,
Loved the city. Didn't want to move at all. I had good mates at the club. Obviously, Jack Rodder was one of my good mates. But then we went to a tribunal because the contract never came. And then we knew he was going to win the case, but we still tried to thrash out a deal before the tribunal started. I was in one room. It was like literally a napkin paper, like one of them stories, bit of paper.
yeah,
I wrote what I want. One lawyer walked it into their room. Come back 2 minutes later, scribble, scribble, scribble. This is what we're going to offer you. And then as soon as I saw the number, I was like, nah, we're walking to the tribunal. And it was literally like that. And it was, yeah, I did. It wasn't that I wanted to leave at all. I didn't want to leave. But I just felt like the contract didn't reflect my status of where I was compared to the other. It was nowhere near what the other guys was on.
yeah. Because
And it was like, I couldn't really accept that really. And then the position as well. It wasn't like the money was good. The money was amazing for where I come from, right?
hmm,
But it was a lot of it was to do with the central midfield, and that bugged me a lot.
hmm.
Um, David Moyes said you'd have to go and play for Blackpool or Barnsley. I'll never forget that comment if you want to be a central midfield player. And I was like, that hit me hard. That was tough to take because at that time I
Yeah,
don't know where they were. It might have been League One, maybe. I'm not sure. And I felt very disrespected by that. And I was like, okay, let's leave.
because you're only a young lad. I mean, I think
Yeah, I was 19. Yeah,
you think that they'd want to keep you on, nurture you if there is a loan move they think is the
yeah,
right
yeah,
path.
yeah, yeah.
Get you some more experience and more minutes, and then have you for
Mm,
the team. But obviously that didn't happen, and
yeah. No, I was
Newcastle come in
19,
and
and yeah, I
they
had
were
the
pretty
thing
happy.
after that. There was 6 or 7 teams actually
Was there?
after that, and then I ended up choosing Newcastle. But then didn't work out.
Yeah, but when you reflect on your time at Newcastle, you say it didn't work out, but I'm sure there's a lot of growing up within that period, a lot of life lessons that you learnt that did help you. Obviously, we spoke about it a minute ago. Blackpool, you had the loan move of Blackpool,
Yeah,
which was great.
yeah, that was good.
Um, but you must have done a lot of growing up to then be ready for Bournemouth.
Yeah, well, Newcastle. I mean, I went there. First, I signed a 4-year contract. Went there the first year I was injured, recovering from a cruise ship, right? So
Yeah,
that was tough in itself. Changed from physio team to new physio team, new way of working. I found that difficult. Um, and then trained through the summer. Went to America with Newcastle physio. Trained all through then to Orlando. Um, and then come back. And in preseason, I was great, flying, really good. Chris Hughton got sacked obviously when I was in rehab, so he
oh,
signed
Chris
me. He
Hughton.
got sacked. Alan Pardew come in. So preseason I was great, playing preseason games, doing really well, thinking I've got a chance for the first game of the season. And then I didn't start the first game of the season. And obviously we signed Yohan Cabaye, signed a lot of French players, good players.
Yeah,
Um, and then as soon as Yohan started playing, I never got looking. And look, his form was great. I was competing again with world class players, and I couldn't get in. And there was probably sometimes I felt I probably should have played, but I didn't. And then over the course of the season, your confidence starts dipping, and everything else. But what I would say I always did, I trained to the maximum. I
yeah.
did my gym work. I stayed professional. I wasn't like, wow, oh, I'm going out there every night. Never was doing that. Listen, I had nights out. I wasn't perfect. I had nights out, no problem. But I trained every day.
Mm.
I'd be in early every day. I wouldn't be the first one to leave because I was only going home to my house on my own. Do you know what
Yeah.
I
You know what? It's really funny
mean?
you say that. So I went to a talk the other week. We were actually with one of your ex-teammates, Jolien Lescott.
Oh yeah,
And Jolien was saying like it's professional football. So like it's different. Like to be at this level, Premier League level, you've got to be like, your standards are so high.
Mm,
So you're maybe going to the gym twice in one
yeah,
day just to be
yeah,
ready. Like it's not easy, and obviously there's a lot of sacrifice that you have to make anyway. But
yeah.
professional football, you have to have a certain standard. You have to be ready if the
Well,
game
I got
comes.
addicted to, not addicted to the gym, but I love lifting weights because I had a big injury. I ended up
Yeah.
being in the gym for 10 months. So I learned to lift weights properly. I started looking at my body thinking, oh, I'm l- growing, I'm looking better, I'm getting stronger. And then everything else, like after that, it was a lot of like prehab, injury prevention stuff. So I'd always be in the gym doing like knee stuff, glute work, blah, 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 whatever else. And yeah, it does become a bit of an addiction. It's like if you don't do it, and that's what I felt, if I didn't do it, it was like, I'm not ready for training.
Hmm.
So you end up, I mean, getting probably quite lucky getting injured to have that mindset. Whether I would have had it anyway, probably, but it just helps, right?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so I stayed true to myself, stayed professional the whole time there. And that's probably the third year I was actually going to Crystal Palace, and I've done the medical.
Wow.
Ian Holloway was the manager.
Oh, what a top manager. He's
Yeah, so he obviously gave my debut at Plymouth.
was he there at Plymouth?
Yeah, so
Wow.
he gave my debut at Plymouth, and
Okay.
then he wanted me at Palace. I weren't playing at Newcastle, obviously,
Yeah.
and then I mean I know exactly what happened. The deal was done, no problem. Alan Pardew's best mates with Steve Parish. Uh, he's definitely spoke with Steve Parish the day I was signing the contract and blocked it
Why
for
would you?
sure because he weren't
Yeah.
playing me at Newcastle. Then 6 months later, he's at Crystal Palace manager.
Ah, okay.
So I ended up, deal's done, said bye to Newcastle, everyone, thank you very much. See you later at Crystal Palace training ground. And then next day I go to sign, didn't get a phone call. So all of a sudden, deal's off. Problem with the medical, blah, blah, it was all bullshit, like rubbish.
Yeah, yeah,
End up going back to Newcastle and I'm thinking, I know exactly what has happened here. And I'm 23 at this point, I think. And at that point, I understand football. I
yeah. Not
understand it.
easy at
I've
all.
grown up. I've
Mm.
grown up. And then, yeah, I end up spending the last year at Newcastle. I end up going on loan at Blackpool, play the 12, 30 games there under Paul Ince, which was great. Loved it. It was just refreshing. You
Yeah,
had to walk your own kit, take your own water to training. Like, it was proper Sunday league, really, in terms of that. But the lads were great. And Blackpool, good team at the time.
yeah.
And played, that was the most I played in 3 years.
Did he
Every
help you?
game,
Because
90 minutes.
obviously he was top. He was a top midfielder. Did he
Yeah,
help
no,
you a lot
yeah, he did.
in
Yeah,
positioning or things
yeah,
like
he did
this?
help me. Yeah, he did help me. There's a couple of good points that I took on my career, and no, he's a great bloke.
Mm.
And then that spell got me my move to Bournemouth. So if I didn't have that, so you go through all the negatives, but you end up if I didn't go on loan to Blackpool, which I didn't really want to do at the time, but I
Mm.
didn't play football. I had to play. And then if I didn't, I wouldn't have got the move to Bournemouth. And yeah, I mean, I knew I was going to Bournemouth in the January. So I had one season left at Newcastle in the January. I started speaking to Eddie Howe every weekend after the games. Oh, did you play? No, I sat on the bench again. How's your game? Every Saturday night probably spoke with him.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Um, and yeah, it was great because I had a thing going on with the FA with the betting scandal at the
Okay.
time. If you
Okay.
saw that, and I was just reassuring him that like I'm a good bloke. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't want nothing to jeopardize this. Like Bournemouth is the one I want. I don't know why. Don't know why Bournemouth are so fixated on it, but because I didn't know a lot about them. But I was
Yeah.
like, no, I'm definitely like I need this deal. And then end up in Bournemouth, and then yeah, it was amazing time.
And you played so much at Bournemouth. Like, yeah, you had some injuries and stuff in
Yeah.
previous spells, but you played a lot of games for Bournemouth, right?
Yeah,
In
so
the
the
Premier
first year I
League.
went, it was in the Champ. It was the
Yeah.
second season in the Champ, and so the first season listen, I've come from Newcastle going to Bournemouth, and I'm thinking I'm like gonna walk into this team like I'm the big player here now. Like I'm gonna come down, get in the team, no problem. And then all of a sudden, I turn up at training, and they do like a fitness test, and I was struggling with my groins to be fair, so I didn't actually work in the off season and do a fitness test. And these boys are fit, and I'm fit, and I'm thinking, and they will beat me, and I'm like, what is going on here? Um, and then started training, and training was really intense. But I started one game out of 46 in that championship
In the
season.
first season, wow. Okay.
Started one game, and that was partly my own fault because I thought it was too easy. I thought I was going to walk in. I thought I was going to be the best one there, no problem. But the standard of players was really good. We had a really good team. And after the first training session, I called my agent and said, "We're a good team. We've got a chance." Like I just knew, and the way the training was set up and the way we trained, and I was like, "Wow!" Like I've never seen this before. Like the training was like the passengers are complicated, all videoed. We haven't been videoed before, so I'm like looking at the camera thing. The camera's watching everything that we do, and that was the first time I happened to do that, and it was just like a whole new thing. But training was really good, and I was learning every day. I like up until this point, I never trained centre mid really. Newcastle I weren't really getting coached centre mid. I was trained
Yeah.
sometimes, but I'd never get coached. Um, all of a sudden, I'm like running here, there, and everywhere. And then Eddie's like showing me video footage, and then he's sitting me down, and he's shouting at me. And I think, oh yeah, I can't just run in the box.
Proper
Like all I
coaching you.
run in the box, and I'm like, just look, I'm learning every day. So 24 when I started learning how to play centre mid,
Yeah.
and it was amazing, amazing.
And you smashed it at Bournemouth. I mean,
Yeah, we went up that year. Like I was just getting used to training and understanding what he wanted. Because obviously the boys have been doing it for a couple of years now, so they knew everything.
hmm,
Um, it takes, if you look at his signings, it always takes uh,
a
most
little bit.
signings 6 months. Like even if you look at now, like Alanga, Gordon didn't start particularly well. Harvey Barnes didn't start particularly well. Who else was there? I'm just going off the recent ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jacob Ramsey hasn't gone in straight and started. It's like it takes them a bit of time. And it took me time. And then the second year we got promoted. I looked at the bigger picture, kept my head down, trained, learned, worked hard, looking at the bigger picture. Premier League, I'm a Premier League player. Wages go up. Everyone's a winner. And then the Premier League, I started 28 out of 38 games in that second season. It was just like because I was ready, I was
Yeah.
mentally ready, trained, fit, like, and then yeah, end up having a good Premier League career with them, really.
Yeah. And you scored a few goals. I noted down a few here. So I think there was one. Was there one in the? I think it was the cup. You scored against Chelsea. You scored two against Chelsea. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, I've scored. Yeah,
There was.
Carabao Cup.
There was that the curler,
Yeah, yeah, that was the last minute.
and then there was a VAR one
Yeah, they're like
where you like
this.
lobbed it.
Yeah, had that, but overhead kick on it. Come on. Yeah, that was Premier League.
Yeah.
We won 1-0. And then yeah,
Did you score against Newcastle for
Uh,
Bournemouth?
yes, it was at Bournemouth. I think it was either 1-1 or we won 1-0. I can't remember, but yeah, it was yeah,
Did it
uh,
feel good?
yeah, yeah, it felt really good.
I bet.
Um, I celebrated. I wasn't one of them where I wouldn't celebrate, but yeah, that felt really good.
Yeah, smashed it. Obviously, from Bournemouth, then you move on. You have a spell at Watford, and then Notts County. But I want to talk about Watford. So after the
How long you got?
yeah, well, after the professional football career, you move into coaching. Um, you were, correct me if I'm wrong, were you coach of was it the under-18s last season?
Yeah, yeah, last season,
Was it
yeah,
you and Lloyd Doyley together?
yes.
How was that?
No, it was good. I mean, I felt like I was going to go into coaching around 28, 29. Um, I felt, and then I went to Notts County. I left in the January window. I had a bit of a hamstring problem. So I still wanted to play. I was 34, wanted to play. Still felt I was good enough to play. And then I didn't have a club. So I was at home, like bored. What am I doing? I'm trying to train. I'm trying to get fit. I've got no physio to see. Blah blah. So I call up Clevs. Said, "Oh, can I come and just shadow you? Like, just watch. I've got nothing else to do. Basically, I basically wanted to use the facilities to get fit. So I half said that,
Yeah,
trying to use
thinking you
it
can
in the
use the
afternoon.
facilities. Yeah.
So I was doing that, and then for like 2 months, I was going in every day for a couple hours, just watching the train. I weren't doing anything. I was just watching. Um, and then there was talk. Obviously, the academy manager was really good with me, Jimmy Gilligan. Kept saying, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, I want to play. Still want to play, but I'm getting a phone call. Like, opportunities just not there." And then he persuaded me to start taking some sessions. I started taking some like individual bits with Clevs, like in the afternoons. And then he got obviously the interim job with the first team.
Mm.
And then the 18s have got no coaches, so I started doing a little bit more. Um, Not like big group sessions, just smaller ones. And then Jimmy said, "Look, what do you want to do?" And I said, "Yeah, I want to get into coaching, but I still want to play." He said, "Look, the 21's assistant job's coming up. Do you want to take it?" And this was like April now. And Charlie Daniels was the coach who I
Yeah.
know. Um, and I was like, that means I have to retire. I don't want to retire,
Mm.
but the opportunity's not there. So can I train by myself from now all the way through the off season? This is like March, all the way through the off season, and then maybe get a club, maybe not. The 21's assistant was a good start. I was like, okay, yeah, I'll take it. And then retired, reluctantly retired. And it took me 6 months to get over it. I couldn't get my head, I wasn't fully invested in coaching.
It's
'Cause I still
everything,
wanted to
though, isn't it?
play.
It's all you've ever known for
Yeah.
20 years.
Yeah.
It's all you've ever known. You've obviously
Like
had that routine as well.
my days got longer. I was still seeing all the lads. That was probably the worst part. I still seeing all the lads that I knew from the club, from the first team,
Got ya.
all just going out to train. Then they'll be going home at like 1:30 sometimes. Coffee? I'm like, mate, I'm just going out to like a second session of like for like two players, mate. I'm like, I can't. I'm like, what am I doing? I just weren't. I didn't get the buzz off it, you know.
Mm.
I weren't like that confident either in coaching, so I wasn't like. And then yeah, I'd done the whole season with Chaz, learnt a lot, learnt a hell of a lot. And then in the pre-season, Matty Bevs went to Plymouth with Tom Cleverley, and the 18's job was available. And I was like, am I ready? Am I not? Like, when are you ever ready? I
Mm.
said, I told the academy manager, Michael Hyde, I want the job. And then I had to go through an interview process, do a session, do a presentation, got the job. And then I loved it. I loved coaching every day. Like, I loved having my own team, my own match plan. Like, it was me and Lloyd done it together. But you always have like that one lead and when you're in the lead, you have to do it. And that's what I was finding when I was assistant to Chaz. It was like, I can do it, but I don't have to do it.
Got you.
Like,
But you're
it's you,
responsible now.
yeah,
Yeah.
from you. Um, so yeah, I wasn't getting enough from that, you know? So when it was on me, it was like, all right, let's get the tactics board out and let's play around, let's come up with different solutions, and it was good fun. And then obviously the February we get bumped up to the first team, the interim charge, take 2 games, which was amazing. And then Ed still come in and get kept on to the first team from February till obviously the end of the season, which I learned a hell of a lot in 3 months. Really a lot in 3 months, more than what I would have if I stayed with the 18s.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I stepped up and done it. I probably didn't enjoy it as much as, I mean, the results probably was a factor because it's then results driven, and then the
Mm.
mood changes in the camp and all this sort of stuff. Then the season petered out, which was a shame. Um, but yeah, I do miss coaching every day with the 18s, and they're really engaging like young players, and some were really good. And I
Yeah.
felt like I was getting a good connection with a lot of them, and a lot of them said when obviously I went, they texted me and stuff, and that just reassured what I was doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Because you never know,
That's it.
because they're quite shy, some, and never know when you're still there. So, oh, I'm really enjoying your sessions. Oh, thank you. Like, But it's when you leave is when you know, and then that just reassured me that I was doing things that they liked, that they appreciated. They appreciated the work that I was putting in for them, and ultimately, I wanted to make them all better.
Yeah.
So I was really trying. So yeah, in terms of that, I missed it, but academy football, uh, the first team is where it's at, right? And that's where I want to be.
And what's your situation now?
Well, still technically at the club. Obviously, they're looking to appoint a new manager. I'm hearing it's the Italian guy Alessio Dionci, but I haven't heard anything. So until that's done, I guess I won't know.
And this for the next season, there's been a bit of a rejig in the structure of the academy at Watford.
Yeah, I'm not too like I'm not too aware of the situation, what that means, but obviously I
Right.
know the 21s have been cut, and it's gone to a B team.
Yeah.
So I don't really understand it yet. I haven't spoke to
It's
anyone
interesting.
making the decisions. So I've spoken to a couple of coaches, but still not sure either yet as well.
Yeah, Brentford done it a few years ago. I
Mm,
think they've got a B team, so it's interesting. It's just a slightly different way of trying to
yeah,
develop young players, right?
yeah. It looks negative at the moment, I think, from the outset, but I'm not sure
It's
it
done for
is.
positive reasons, though, right?
Yeah.
He's trying to. I think he's trying to give the young
Yeah, try and
players
get
more
them
of a.
probably more first team experience,
Yeah,
so they might all have to go on loan,
yeah,
possibly, because the 21s league ain't great. Like we've done it, and a lot of teams play the same way. A lot of teams want to just go out all pressing. It's it's a very very difficult one because you never have probably the best ones. The best ones are always on loan.
yeah.
The best ones are in the first team. Then the second best ones are going to be on loan, gaining first team football experience, and then you're sort of left with the ones that either don't want to go on loan or they're not quite ready in terms of maturation. So they're not ready to go on loan, and it's like that style of football's not going to suit them. They'll be better suited staying here with us coaches,
Develop a
playing
bit more.
on, developing a bit more until they can go out. So yes, very difficult age group, really difficult age group to get right, really.
Yeah, I'm going to be interested to see what happens with Watford next season, and I suppose for your coaching career and stuff, wishing you all the best. What we'll do now is we'll move on to some questions to just try and get to know you and your teammates a little bit better. It's called Inside the Dressing Room. So I'm going to ask you a few questions now, Dan. Who was the best player you played with and why?
Uh, the best player it's actually an easy one. I'm thinking about it, and there's been a few. I mean, Louis Saha was amazing, right? He was an amazing player. And I was a Man U fan growing up. So like when he came to Everton, I was like, wow, this guy, this incredible, incredible athlete. But it's not him. Hassan Ben Arfa was the best.
Oh, I
Hassan Ben
remember
Arfa
that
was the
goal.
best. In terms of like training and attitude, the worst. The worst. But
But
he
that's
turns up on a
kind of,
Saturday and it's
yeah,
like you don't mind. And I've had players before, and I had players who are training rubbish through the week, but you turn up on a Saturday, and I'd run all day for those players. But it's when you don't turn up on a Saturday that's the problem. When you're
mm,
not training well, and you sat things off. But Hatem is dribbling. I sat next to him in the dressing room in Newcastle every day, and I used to talk to him, and I got on really well with him. Broken English, like great lad. And I said, "Why are you here?" Because Newcastle weren't Newcastle now. And I said, "Why are you here?" He said, "Because I don't care." And I was like, "But why are you not like PSG or
yeah,
Madrid or like why?" He said, "'Cause I don't care, my friend. I don't care." I'm like, "Mate, you're mad." But then a couple of years later, then he went to Hull, didn't work out, and then he got a move to PSG,
yeah,
and he went
yeah,
to PSG, and I was like, "Yes, he's there. That is like your level." And then he fell out with Unai Emery, and then goes to Rennes and rips Rennes up, scores bags full of goals, but then you've missed that. Every manager now is thinking, it's causing too many problems at all these big clubs.
mm,
But he was from like 17. He was like one of the best players in French football. Got told he's the best, got paid, got so much money. He's on so much money from a young age. It's like, so he didn't care about reaching but he could have been, I'm saying he could have been Messi levels, dribbling, his power is, but he never fulfilled his potential.
No,
But he scored some incredible goals and had an amazing career. So it's like, but he was the best.
he did score some great goals. I remember them. Who was the most underrated player you played with?
The most underrated player. Don't know. Yeah, he's a good pal of mine. There's probably two. James Perch is probably one of them.
Yeah,
Um,
Newcastle. Great,
yeah,
good,
he
great
was.
player. Fullback.
Yeah, fullback, then transitioned to centre mid. Sort of play anywhere.
Yeah,
He was one of them utility players. But he had a great spell in centre mid at Newcastle. He got the nickname Perchinia. Um, he was probably, yeah, he was one of them. There'll be a few more, but I'd say him.
yeah, that's a great shout. He's a good player. Who was the manager you connected with the most?
Eddie Howe.
Top,
Uh,
top
just
manager.
just because he cared. He cared, so it made me care even more. Want to do anything I could for him.
Mm.
Just because I saw the effort levels that he puts in, it's like, yeah, it's a no brainer, Eddie.
Mm. And he built a team at Bournemouth that would just work so
Yeah,
hard, you included.
yeah,
Didn't stop running.
yeah.
Um, who was the toughest midfielder that you faced?
Uh, do you know what? On a daily basis, and it was Cheptiotti
Oh,
at
great.
Newcastle.
Yeah.
Obviously, he sadly passed away
Yeah.
when he was in China, so it's so unfortunate. But he's a great lad, but one of the hardest trainers and the toughest tacklers I've ever had. He used to smash me every day,
Yeah.
and I now look back and go, man, just relax, man. Like training, but it made you be quick on the ball. Your
That's the
speed
standard, though.
process, and that's the
Yeah.
standard. It's the standard. His warm up was ridiculous. He'd like sprint the warm up, like warm. He's getting warm and he's focusing, and he don't care who it was. He wouldn't just smash at me, by the way. He would go for anyone,
Yeah. Yeah.
which was great. And yeah, he was probably one of the toughest midfielders I've come against.
What was it like against N'Golo Kante?
Um, it was tough. He was everywhere,
Yeah.
but I felt like I was quite strong. So in terms of like the ball jewels up in the air, I'd back myself all day long.
Yeah.
In terms of getting my arm across him, I'd back myself all day long. But yeah, he was. Listen, he's a fantastic player, but I wouldn't say I was ever fearful against him. I wouldn't mind playing
Yeah.
against him. There was others where you look at it and go, oh, because Kante is as good as he is off the ball. On the ball, you could probably nick it
Yeah.
as well. So there's always a chance there. I know you'd nick it 10 times more for me, but um, there's always a chance. I didn't fear him, but it was some good battles probably.
Yeah. He's got an absolute engine in him. Um, who's your best mate in football?
Um, yeah, there's a few from the Bournemouth dressing room. To be fair, I was really close with Adam Smith for years when I was there.
Still
Uh,
smashing it.
yeah, I know it's incredible. Simon Francis,
Yes. I think
yeah,
I think he just left his
just
role at
left
Bournemouth.
Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Um, James Perch, Ryan Taylor. Uh,
Oh my
so they're
gosh.
yeah,
Ryan Taylor.
yeah, Tails. Yeah, spoke to him the other day.
Free kick.
Yeah,
Magician.
Ryan Taylor over the wall.
Yeah.
So yeah, those guys. I mean, there's Tommy Elphick, there's Steve Cook, there's loads
Oh,
of that Bournemouth dressing room. We had a real good connection.
oh, brilliant.
Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, there's a few.
Some top players there as well. What was the best stadium that you played in?
Um, Benfica was very good away
Really?
in the Europa League. Benfica was a top stadium, quite intimidating. Uh, yeah, Benfica probably.
Wow,
With the
that's a
Eagle
shout.
or the Falcon, I think it's the Falcon or the Eagle. I'm not sure that flies down before the game. So
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, I think it's yeah, that's sick. Um, what was the favourite goal that you scored?
Uh, Yeah. Mm, God, that's a tough question. Um, there was one for Everton that probably doesn't get noticed a lot, but it was against Man City. Um, we lost 3-1, so it was a consolation last minute. It was the Rubinho era, so Mark Hughes. It
Yeah.
was last minute. I think it's a ball's sort of been wrapped inside, and I've took it right footed, possibly past company, I'm not sure, and then just curled one sort of just inside the box past Joe Hart, and it's just like still bending away into the top corner. Um, so that's probably up there with one of my best, but people don't probably remember it
I
at
need to
all.
look it up. I've not seen
Yeah,
that
look it
one.
up.
You did score off quite a few goals from like outside the box, though. I think was there a
Yeah,
game?
there's one against Hull,
Yeah. What did
at
I have?
Bournemouth, a left foot curler.
Coventry.
Uh, Coventry, yeah, it was a good strike.
Yeah.
That was, yeah, we beat 3-1.
And then there
Uh,
was a period. I got written down here. There was a period. It was in the League Cup. I think you got like 5 goals in 5 appearances.
yeah, it was
Goal
2 away at
machine.
Cardiff, one against Liverpool. Liverpool goal was good at home. Um, where else? Yeah, I was in the Carabao Cup Team of the Year that year. We got to the quarterfinals. We lost to Liverpool at home, I think. But yeah, I scored in every round. Still didn't get me a league appearance, but couldn't get in the league team. But I kept playing the Carabao Cup.
And who was the best player that you played against?
Um, this is always a difficult question because you're never like directly directly against an opponent. So against a midfielder, like if you're playing against Man City, they're
Yeah.
so good that you can't actually get. So when Gareth Barry played, couldn't get near him because City are so dominant. You go to close Gareth Barry down, he plays one touch around the corner. You go and you take a yard off him, he'll take 2 touch and just pop it off before you get close. It's like, can't get near him. So I always say Gareth Barry was a great player. Carrick was a great player. But probably the one, probably Willian at Chelsea was
Yeah, that's
probably
good.
the best. Just, it's
Yeah.
so quick, so sharp. So it's like, even if you read him,
He's
he
gone.
gets there anyway.
Mm.
But it's like, just, he was still quick at like 38 at Fulham like last year or the year
Yeah.
before. So can you imagine when he's like 28,
Yeah.
like at Chelsea in his prime, mate? It's like just drop his shoulder, no skill, but it's just like a shimmy, gone.
Yeah.
It's like what chance you got?
You played against some absolute top players. I think that was sort of like golden era. My era, maybe I'm a bit biased, but sort of
Yeah,
like golden era of Premier League. But we're going to finish on the last section. So the last section is football blackjack. So what you need to do, so the game is you need to pick 4 players. You're aiming for 21 goals collectively, and all of those players need to score at least 1 goal. So this year we've made an app so more people can enjoy the game, but we're going to task you on the podcast today, but we're going to do it on last season. So what I'll do, let me just get my app ready. We've got a section on our app where you can look at the stats and you can see all of the goals from like the previous season. So when you come to doing your picks, it's a lot easier. So what we'll do, Dan, is give me the first name. I'll look and see how many goals they got, and we'll go from there and we'll see if you can get to 21.
yeah. Cunha.
Cunha. 10.
That's too high, isn't it?
So you've got 11 to play with, 3 players.
Uh, Odegaard.
Oh, I need to check that because that is not looking good. He
Did he get
must have
like?
got a goal.
He must have
He
scored.
must have got a goal.
He might not have. I don't. I mean, I thought he'd get like 2. That's why I picked him.
Yeah, I would have said that because he's not really like, I don't know if he's been injured, but he's not
Yeah,
played loads, has he?
nah.
Right, let's try and find
Yeah,
him.
yeah. It might be. It might be 0. Well, anyway, that's quite a good thing. Anyway,
No, it's not. And
why?
I'll tell you why it's not, because
Oh,
every player needs to score at least 1 goal. But let me just double check. He got
ah,
one
come
goal.
on.
He got one
Did
goal.
he?
He got 1 goal.
Yeah.
No.
Did he actually? Who was
Yeah.
it again? You know?
I can't see on here who it's against, but he
Well,
got 1
definitely
goal
one
in the
goal.
Premier League.
I'll take that all day long.
So you're on 11.
Oh, Jesus. Who else is there? I don't want to go too high. This could be too high. Bowen.
9. So you've
So I
got
need one
to
goal.
get one person that's got 1 goal.
I thought Bowen got up like 7 or something.
He actually. I know they got relegated, but he actually had a great season.
1 goal. Jesus. And a defender or midfielder. I don't know. This, I could be right in this. Nico Gonzalez.
Oh, Nico.
He smashed one in. He might have
Didn't he
3.
score like a long
He smashed.
long
Was
ranger
that in
one?
the league or was that cup?
Oh, he might have been the cup actually. We'll see. Nico Gonzalez, right?
I think he scored about 2 or 3 goals.
1 goal. 1 goal in the Premier League. Well done, 21. Smashed it. We've not had many people. We've not had many people get 21. Well played.
Hey, no phone or nothing. I've got no
Well,
phone.
yeah. That's it. He's on the internet. I love that. Well played. Appreciate it. So yeah, we've got the app out this year. We're just trying to sort of build our football community. But thanks for playing along the game, and thanks for telling us about your career. Look, it's been great having you on here, and I'm wishing you all of the best for your coaching career, Dan.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, mate.
Appreciate it, Jack.
No worries. Thank you, mate.
No problem.